Ladies and gentlemen, let me be blunt. Most people will live and die as nobodies. Not because they were born that way, but because they chose to live small. They made mistakes. Mistakes that killed their potential before they even got started. I'm not talking about little slip-ups. I'm talking about life-altering, dream-destroying failures in thinking. So today I'm here to tell you, wake up. Stop making these 10 mistakes before they turn your life into a regret-filled nightmare. First, stop wasting time on fear and doubt. Fear is for the weak. Doubt is for the losers. You think the greats sat around wondering, well, what if I fail? No, they took action. They made things happen. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll die waiting. Take the shot, make the move, and let the chips fall where they may. Second, get rid of the losers around you. If you're hanging out with people who complain, make excuses, and settle for mediocrity, guess what? That's your future. Winners don't spend time with losers. You become who you associate. Find people who challenge you, who make you level up, who demand the best from you, otherwise you're doomed. Stop choosing comfort over opportunity. The reason most people stay stuck is simple. They're too damn comfortable. They want security, a steady paycheck, a life of predictability. You know who else has security? Prisoners. Comfort is a trap. Every great success comes from taking risks, stepping into the unknown and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Fourth, invest in yourself or prepare to be left behind. If you're not constantly learning, improving, and evolving, you're dying. Your mind is your greatest weapon, sharpen it. Read the books, take the courses, find the mentors. The most successful people in the world don't spend their money on nonsense. They invest in their knowledge, their skills, their mindset. Fifth, stop making excuses and start taking responsibility. Life doesn't care about your sob stories. No one is coming to save you. If you fail, it's your fault. If you're broke, it's your fault. If you're out of shape, it's your fault. Winners own their mistakes and fix them. Losers blame their past, their parents, the government, anyone but themselves. Which one are you? The difference between those who make it and those who don't is who's willing to do the hard stuff. Who's willing to take the risks, cut the dead weight, push through fear, and own their damn life. The world is full of people who settled, who accepted less than they were capable of. But that doesn't have to be you. You can be the exception. You can be the one who looks back with pride instead of regret. But it starts now. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more mistakes. You want the life others don't have. Do what others won't do. Be bold. Be relentless. Be unstoppable. Go out there and make it happen. Wasting time on fear and doubt, two of the biggest dream killers on this planet. They have robbed more people of their potential, destroyed more ambitions, and left more lives in mediocrity than any external force ever could. The worst part? Most people don't even realize they're prisoners of their own mind. They let fear dictate their decisions, and they allow doubt to paralyze them into inaction. If you want to achieve anything extraordinary in life, you need to eliminate these two poisons immediately. Let's get one thing straight. Fear is not real. Fear is an illusion, a mental construct, a self-imposed barrier created by your own mind. Think about it. When was the last time fear physically grabbed you and stopped you from taking action? It didn't. Fear only exists because you give it permission to exist. The moment you decide to push through it, it vanishes. Yet most people let fear run their lives. They're afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of rejection, afraid of stepping out of their comfort zones. And guess what? That fear keeps them exactly where they are, stuck, stagnant, and frustrated. Doubt is just as deadly. It's the voice in your head that tells you, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if people laugh at you? Doubt doesn't care about logic. It doesn't care about your potential. It only exists to weaken you, to strip you of your power before you even take the first step. And the worst part, doubt feeds on inaction. The more you hesitate, the stronger it gets. The longer you wait, the more control it has over you. Let me ask you something. How many times have you stopped yourself from going after something because of fear or doubt? How many opportunities have you let slip away because you were afraid of what might happen? You see, most people live their entire lives on pause, waiting for the right moment, waiting to feel ready. Newsflash, you will never feel ready. There is no perfect time. There is no magical moment where fear disappears and confidence suddenly takes over. Confidence comes from action. Fear disappears when you face it head on. Successful people understand this. They feel the fear and they act anyway. They ignore the doubts and push forward regardless. Do you think the greats, the entrepreneurs, the world champions, the self-made millionaires never felt fear? Of course they did. The difference is they refused to let it stop them. They made a choice to move forward despite the fear. So, what's the solution? Massive action. You don't eliminate fear by thinking about it. You don't get rid of doubt by analyzing it. You destroy fear and doubt by doing the very thing you're afraid of. The more you take action, the weaker fear becomes. The more you move forward, the more doubt fades into the background. Think about the first time you did something new. Maybe it was public speaking, starting a business, making a big decision. You were scared, right? But once you did it, you realized it wasn't as terrifying as you imagined. That's how it works. The mind exaggerates fear before you act. Oh, but the moment you step forward, you take back control. Let me be clear. If you do not get control over your fear and doubt, they will control you for the rest of your life. You will always live small. You will always watch others succeed while you sit on the sidelines wondering what if. And one day you'll wake up filled with regret, realizing you wasted your entire life waiting for the right time, waiting for the fear to go away, waiting for a sign that never came. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. From this moment forward, whenever you feel fear creeping in, attack it head on. When doubt whispers in your ear, drown it out with action. When you hesitate, jump anyway. That's how you take control of your life. That's how you break free from the chains holding you back. The winners in life aren't fearless. They just refuse to be ruled by fear. The question is, will you? Surrounding yourself with mediocrity, look around you. The people you associate with every day, the ones you talk to, the ones you listen to, the ones you spend the most time with are shaping your future. Whether you like it or not, you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. If you're spending time with losers, guess what? You're on the fast track to becoming one. If you're constantly around people who make excuses, settle for mediocrity, and accept failure as a way of life, their mindset will rub off on you. And the worst part? You won't even realize it's happening until it's too late. Mediocrity is a disease. It's contagious. It infects your thinking, weakens your ambition, and kills your drive. You start to believe that good enough is actually good enough. You start to lower your standards because the people around you have no standards. You stop pushing yourself because nobody in your circle is pushing themselves either. Before you know it, you're living a life you never wanted. A life of regret, wasted potential, and unfulfilled dreams. Let's be clear about something. The people in your life are either lifting you up or dragging you down. There's no in between. If they aren't challenging you, inspiring you, and pushing you to be better, they are holding you back. And if you're holding on to relationships out of comfort, nostalgia, or fear of being alone, you're making a massive mistake. The successful people understand this. They are ruthless about their associations. They don't waste time with people who don't add value to their lives. They don't entertain negativity, laziness, or small thinking. Instead, they surround themselves with winners, people who think bigger, dream bigger, and play at a higher level. So, ask yourself, who's in your circle? Are they pushing you to be better, or are they keeping you stuck? Are they inspiring you to level up, or are they comfortable with mediocrity? If the people around you aren't forcing you to grow, it's time to cut them loose. I know what you're thinking, but they're my friends, my family, my old colleagues. I can't just abandon them. Let me tell you something. Your loyalty to mediocrity is costing you your future. If they truly cared about you, they wouldn't hold you back. They would support your growth. They would celebrate your ambition. And if they don't, they were never meant to be part of your journey in the first place. It's not about being cruel. It's about being strategic. You don't have time to waste on people who don't align with where you're going. Life is short, and you have one shot to make it count. You need to be around killers. People who are obsessed with winning. People who refuse to settle. People who challenge you to be your best self every single day. How do you find these people? You seek them out. You go to places where high achievers hang out. Seminars, masterminds, business events, networking groups. You study their habits, you learn from them, and you model their mindset. If you can't find them in person, you find them in books, podcasts, and videos. You consume the thoughts and ideas of the greatest minds in history until their way of thinking becomes your way of thinking. This is the hard truth. You can't take everyone with you. Some people will resent your growth. Some will try to pull you back down to their level. Some will tell you that you've changed, and you should take that as a compliment. Because the only way to win in life is to elevate your environment. The choice is yours. You can stay comfortable, keep the same old friends, and continue living a life of mediocrity. Or you can level up, surround yourself with greatness, and become the best version of yourself. Winners choose their circle wisely. Will you? Ignoring opportunities due to comfort is the enemy of greatness. It is the silent killer of dreams, the invisible prison that traps people in mediocrity. The reason most people never achieve their full potential is simple. They prioritize security over growth, predictability over challenge, and stability over risk. They choose comfort instead of chasing opportunities that could transform their lives. And what happens? They wake up 10, 20, 30 years later, full of regret, wondering where the time went. They look back at all the chances they didn't take, the risks they avoided, and the dreams they let do, all because they were too afraid to step outside their comfort zone. Let me be crystal clear. Your comfort zone is your death zone. Every single breakthrough in life happens outside of it. Every success story you've ever heard is about someone who took a risk, who saw an opportunity and went after it, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the unknown. The people who stay inside their bubble, playing it safe, never accomplish anything extraordinary. Why? Because comfort breeds complacency. The moment you settle into a routine that doesn't challenge you, you stop growing, you stop evolving, you become stagnant. And in today's world, if you're not growing, you're dying. The marketplace doesn't reward comfort, it rewards courage. Look at the most successful people in any industry. The billionaires, the top athletes, the world-class entrepreneurs, what do they all have in common? They take massive action when opportunities arise. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They don't let fear paralyze them. They jump in, adapt, and figure things out along the way. Meanwhile, the average person hesitates. They overthink. They let doubt creep in. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I lose everything? And just like that, the opportunity passes them by. Someone else, someone hungrier, someone bolder takes it and runs with it. You see, opportunities are like doors. They don't stay open forever. The problem is most people spend so much time thinking about walking through the door that it closes before they even take a step. And then they make excuses. Oh, I wasn't ready. The timing wasn't right. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Next time. There may never be a next time. So it's how do you break free from this cycle? You stop waiting. You start acting. You develop the mindset that says, I will seize every opportunity that aligns with my vision, no matter how uncomfortable it makes me. Think about the biggest decisions in your life, the ones that shaped who you are today. I guarantee none of them were easy. They all required some level of risk, some level of uncertainty, some level of stepping into the unknown. And yet you survived. In fact, you probably came out better, stronger, and wiser. That's proof that growth only happens when you push yourself beyond what feels safe. But here's the catch. You can't just take any opportunity. You need to be strategic. Not every shiny object is worth chasing. The key is to recognize the right opportunities, the ones that align with your long-term goals, the ones that will force you to level up, the ones that make you a little scared because they require you to grow. And when you find those opportunities, you take them without hesitation. You don't wait for permission. You don't ask yourself if you're ready. You jump, because success rewards those who take bold, decisive action. Most people will never live their dream life because they're too damn comfortable. They'd rather stay in a job they hate than take a risk on something better. They'd rather stay in toxic relationships than face the uncertainty of being alone. They'd rather live in mediocrity than face the discomfort of growth. But let me tell you something. Comfort is an illusion. The security you think you have, it's not real. That sub-par job can disappear tomorrow. That predictable routine can be shattered in an instant. And when that happens, you'll realize that the only real security in life comes from betting on yourself, from having the courage to take risks, chase opportunities, and create your own future. So, I'll leave you with one question. Are you willing to sacrifice your comfort to build the life you truly want? Because if you're not, someone else will take the opportunities you ignored. Someone else will build the empire you were too afraid to start. And one day you'll be forced to watch from the sidelines, wondering what could have been. Don't let that be your story. Get uncomfortable. Take the leap and never look back. Not investing in yourself. Let's get one thing straight. You're your greatest asset, not your job. Not your job. Not your house. Not your bank account. You. Your skills, your knowledge, your mindset. These are the things that determine how far you go in life. And yet the biggest mistake people make is neglecting their own growth. They'll spend money on entertainment, junk food, vacations, and material things that bring temporary pleasure. But when it comes to investing in their own development, suddenly they're too broke. Here's the truth. If you're not constantly improving, you're falling behind. The world is changing at a rapid pace, and those who refuse to evolve will be left in the dust. You see it happening all the time. People working the same job for years, never learning new skills, never upgrading their mindset. And then one day they wake up and realize they're obsolete. They wonder why they're stuck, why they're struggling, why they're not making progress. The answer is simple. They stop growing. Successful people operate differently. They prioritize self-investment over everything else. They know that the more they grow, the more valuable they become. The more valuable they become, the more opportunities they attract. The more opportunities they attract, the more money they make, the more freedom they have, the more control they gain over their life. It all starts with investing in yourself. So what does that look like? It means reading books, attending seminars, hiring mentors, learning new skills, expanding your network, and constantly pushing yourself to improve. It means taking courses, developing expertise, and becoming so damn good at what you do that people can't ignore you. It means working on your mindset. Because the truth is, most people fail not because of lack of opportunity, but because of their own limiting beliefs. Let's talk about mentors. If you want to fast track your success, you need to learn from people who have already achieved what you want. You can try to figure everything out on your own, sure, but that's the slow, painful route. Or you can learn directly from the best, apply their strategies, and collapse decades of learning into months. Yet, most people refuse to invest in mentorship. They say things like, I can't afford it. But these same people have no problem spending hundreds on a night out, thousands on a new car, or wasting years in college studying something they'll never use. The issue isn't money, it's priorities. And let's not forget about your health. If you're not taking care of your body, your energy, and your mental well-being, you're setting yourself up for failure. The wealthiest, most successful people in the world don't just invest in their minds. They invest in their physical health too. They eat right, they exercise, they prioritize sleep, because they know that if you don't have the energy to execute, you'll never reach your full potential. The bottom line is this: the return on investment in yourself is infinite. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every dollar you spend on your education will pay you back tenfold, hundredfold, even 1,000-fold over time. You are either growing or you are dying. There is no in between. So ask yourself, are you truly investing in yourself? Or are you just coasting, hoping things will magically change? Because here's the harsh truth. If you don't bet on yourself, no one else will. The people at the top didn't get there by accident. They got there because they put in the work, they sharpened their minds, they leveled up their skills, and they made a conscious decision to be the best version of themselves. You have two choices: stay the same, stay comfortable, stay average, or invest in yourself, push your limits, and become unstoppable. The decision is yours. Blaming others for your circumstances if you want to fail in life, do this one thing: blame others for your problems. Blame your parents, blame your boss, blame the government, blame the economy. Hell, blame the weather if you want. That's what losers do. They spend their entire lives pointing fingers, making excuses, and avoiding responsibility. And where does that get them? Nowhere. Let me tell you something. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody owes you anything. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your struggles, or your problems. The only person responsible for your life is you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can take control and start winning. But most people don't want to hear that. It's easier to blame external factors than to face the harsh truth. Your life is a direct reflection of your choices, your habits, and your mindset. If you're broke, overweight, stuck in a dead-end job, or unhappy, it's because of the decisions you've made up to this point. Not because of your upbringing, not because of society, not because of some invisible force holding you back. You are responsible. I know that's tough to hear, but guess what? It's also the most liberating truth you'll ever accept. Because if your choices got you into this mess, then your choices can get you out. That means you have the power to change everything. You're not a victim. You're not powerless. You're in control if you choose to be. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they had it easy? Do you think they were handed success on a silver platter? Absolutely not. Many of them started with nothing. Many of them came from broken homes, poverty, abuse, and setbacks far worse than anything you've experienced. The difference is, they didn't waste time complaining about how unfair life was. They didn't sit around waiting for a miracle. They took ownership of their situation and did something about it. And let's be honest, nobody respects a complainer. Nobody wants to hear your sob story about why life is so hard. You know what people respect? Winners. People who take action, who rise above challenges, who refuse to let circumstances define them. People who take full responsibility for their lives and make things happen, no matter what obstacles stand in their way. So how do you start taking responsibility? Stop making excuses. Stop blaming your past, your environment, or other people. Accept that where you are right now is a result of your own actions. And if you don't like where you are, start making different choices. Take control of your finances. Learn new skills. Improve your health. Fix your mindset. Surround yourself with winners. Do whatever it takes to become the kind of person who creates success instead of waiting for it to magically appear. Because here's the truth. You either control your life or your life controls you. There's no middle ground. Winners take responsibility. Losers blame others. Which one are you going to be? Closing the speech with power now. I want you to take a hard look at your life. Every mistake we've covered today, surrounding yourself with mediocrity, ignoring opportunities, refusing to invest in yourself, blaming others, they all have one thing in common. They keep you small. They keep you stuck. They keep you from becoming the person you were meant to be. But you don't have to live that way. You don't have to stay trapped in a cycle of excuses, fear, and wasted potential. You have the power to break free. You have the power to rise above. You have the power to take control of your life starting right now. So I ask you, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to walk out of here inspired for a few hours and then go back to the same old habits? Or are you going to make the decision, the commitment to change? Because that's what separates the winners from the losers. Winners don't just listen. Winners don't just take notes. Winners take action. They see the mistakes, they correct their course, and they push forward, no matter how hard it gets. The world belongs to those who refuse to settle, those who refuse to let their past dictate their future, those who are willing to do whatever it takes to win. So I'll leave you with this. This is your life, your game, your legacy. No more excuses, no more waiting. Take responsibility, take action, take what's yours. Now get out there and make it happen. No regrets, no looking back, only forward.